What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, I want you guys to explain something to me because I'm starting to see this from some LeBron fans about how LeBron should be a leading MVP candidate, not just a fringe candidate, my friend, but a leading MVP candidate. Now, um, look, they're pretty much going by this is their argument. LeBron is carrying the Lakers. See, they love this shit. They love LeBron Dick Licks love seeing LeBron put on his cape and carry a bunch of bums. They love this fucking narrative, man. They love the fact that Russell Westbrook is not playing very well. AD is not there right now. So, they ignore players like Malik Monk. He doesn't exist. His stellar play the last couple games. Oh, he's not part of the equation. Carl Anthony's not part of the equation. They live in a fantasy world where LeBron James is still 27 years old and he's just dominating the league. Let me tell you something. He is being very dominant the last few games when it comes to scoring. And yes, the Lakers are now above 500. But if you're going to have LeBron James as an MVP candidate, you cannot at the same time disqualify Nikola Jokic because of his team record. Because I've heard a lot of these same analysts who are on TV say that, well, Nikola Jokic, and one particular big nose one, who I'm name I'm not going to say, but you know what I'm talking about. He said Nikola Jokic you have to disqualify because his team is only 500. Nikola Jokic this year is averaging 26 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, on 57% shooting from the floor overall. Let me see if I can see some of his other numbers. 35.5% from three, and he is 76% from the foul line. 1.4 steals. Okay, individually, right? He doesn't have nearly the help that LeBron James has, but he's disqualified because of the team record. Also, LeBron's missed several games this year, which disqualified a guy like Joel Embiid for MVP discussion last year. You see how things magically don't qualify? These same uh, qualifiers that we give other players, uh, they don't exist for the king. That's bullshit. At the end of the day, LeBron is playing very well offensively, but I still have to say that his points are still not as impactful as people think they are. I'm not budging from that shit. I'm gonna tell you why. Let's look at the teams that the Lakers have played this year so far. The Lakers have played about 40 games, right? In those 40 games, 26 of those games, okay, 26 of the 40, the Lakers have been at home. That's the most home games that any team has played for the first 40 games of the season. The Lakers have played more sub 500 teams than any other team in the NBA. So I'm not convinced yet. When I start seeing LeBron drop 35 and 40 against the Warriors and the Bucks and uh, the Suns and the Jazz, perhaps, when I start seeing him doing against Philly, when I start seeing him doing against the best teams and they win some real meaningful games when he does it, then I will change my position on it. Let's look at the last game. Well, LeBron had 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists, I believe it was. The Hawks. You're talking about the same Hawks team that let a guy from Portland who only averaged 8 points a game for his career drop 43? I'm supposed to be impressed by that. The same Hawks team that played the Bulls a couple years ago and had the highest scoring regulation game in history, a team that can't even spell defense. Then they beat a Timberwolves team that doesn't have Karl Anthony Towns or DeMarcus Russell. Then LeBron and them, they blow out Portland, the worst defensive team in the league, who was depleted. I'm not trying to knock him, man, but I'm telling you, man, I'm fair on this motherfucker, man. I praise you, but I'm not gonna go. I don't go for all this dumb shit. Plus, I just seen a Clutch Points article that lied. This just lied. It's just ridiculous. Like they said something about LeBron just broke a record that Jordan held, and LeBron's doing it in the prime of his career while Jordan was only 34 in the twilight of his career with the Wizards. No, in 1997, Jordan playing with the Bulls. He wasn't in the twilight of his career. Stop fucking lying. You got all these fucking, I'm telling you, man, you got all these analysts getting paid and don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But at the end of the day, yes, LeBron's playing very well. If the Lakers can get a stretch where they're beating really good teams, then I'll be convinced. And that stretch is coming. Okay? That stretch is coming. Because all these people who are saying, oh man, they're LeBron. But I don't want to hear, man, he's in year 19. We can't expect, fuck you. Can't have both ways. You know what I'm saying? When they play the good teams and LeBron magically looks old and slow, well, I mean, you got to understand he's in year 19. Okay, all right. Yeah, I understand. That's why I didn't have him as MVP candidate from the get go. So, if you're going to start having LeBron as an MVP candidate, then we need to put Nikola Jokic up there too. Because, this is a guy that has been putting up and carrying this team for a minute. You notice I ain't been really talking about Jokic as much as far as criticism because, shit, this guy don't got no goddamn help down there. And he's doing as much as he can to keep that team above 500. And another thing is that Jokic is at least trying to improve defensively. LeBron moved to the center, so he don't have to play defense like that. He can just go out there and just score. Plus, he was becoming a defensive liability any fucking way. But nobody wants to call that out in the mainstream media. But it is what it is. Tell me what you guys think.